Hey humans, I experienced SA from the ages of 3 years old until approximately 14 years old. For the longest time, I've been afraid to share my story for several reasons. One being experiencing retaliation from certain family members, and two, experiencing public shame, especially on social media, because I have spent a very large amount of my life shaming myself for the things that were not my fault. However, if you've been essayed for a very large amount of your life, you start to play mind games and you experience a lot of guilt and shame. And so the earliest thing that I can remember at the age of 3 is being forced to provide oral sex on a male family member. And that essay with that specific family member occurred approximately from the ages of 3 years old until I was about in fourth grade. And when I entered fifth grade was when I started to experience essay by a different male family member, which occurred until I was about the age of 14 years old. And so why am I choosing to share my story now? Well, for me, and this might be different for somebody else, but for me, the hardest part about experiencing essay as a child was feeling so alone when it happened. Because not only was I experiencing SA, I didn't feel safe to tell anyone around me when it was happening. And when I finally told my partner what had happened to me as a child, that was one of his biggest questions was, why didn't you say anything? And I never thought about that question, and that made me really think. And I realized that it was because I never had a safe space or a safe person to disclose this information to. For example, I showed all the signs of a child that was being essayed. And even though I showed all the signs, no one ever checked in and asked me, hey, what was going on? Are you okay? Instead, I was met with public humility. And so I hope that by sharing my story, I can help someone out there that is feeling alone not feel so alone anymore. I was constantly waiting for my Prince Charming to show up and to rescue me. But what I learned is that I was never really alone. I had myself. And one day you'll become bigger and stronger and more assertive and capable of being able to rescue yourself. And so that's what I did. I stopped waiting for my Prince Charming and I became my own Prince Charming and saved myself from the essay and all the other toxic things that were going on. Now, don't forget to